Solve and graph this inequality. When graphing inequalities, there's two things that you have to remember. First things first, when solving, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the symbol. Also, if your variable's on the right, so if I have something like 3 is less than n, that becomes n is greater than 3, flip everything. Otherwise, solving an inequality is just like solving an equation. So negative 3 is being multiplied to x. How do I get rid of being multiplied to negative 3? Divide both sides by negative 3, and right away we have one of these rules in play right here. These guys cross out. X drops down, but since I divided both sides by a negative, I flip the greater than symbol to a less than symbol. 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1. So in order to graph this, and by the way, that's solved for. Okay, done. Now I have to graph it. In order to graph it, I just put negative 1 somewhere on the number line, and then I fill in the rest like so. Like so. X is less than negative 1 means I put a circle at negative 1, but don't fill it in. Why don't fill it in? Because x is not equal to negative 1, so we're not allowed to include negative 1. X is anything smaller than it, like negative 3 and negative 5. And since this looks like an arrow pointing to the left, I guess it would make sense that we're going to draw out a shading pointing to the left. So what this red shading means is if I take any number here, negative 5, negative 3.5, negative a billion, and multiply it to negative 3, I get something bigger than 3. So negative 3 times negative 4 is greater than 3. Negative 5.5 times negative 3 is greater than 3, and so on and so forth. Dunzo.